lovely people of the internet. How is everybody doing today? I hope everybody has a beautiful Sunday. Welcome to another episode of Guitar Stuff. If my voice sounds a little shredded today, that is because I yelled my heart out last night recording vocals for a music video production that I'm doing with my kids, with my students in my music school. I'm teaching them everything you have to know about like how to track your guitar, like going through all these little fishes so they can visualize and see how it's like to record, play accurately. And also next week there's the video shoot for those 3 songs. And I'm thinking about, this might be a good thing. Please put in the comment section, would you like to see what I'm doing with my students? Yes or no? I'm going to have my friend Diggy come here tomorrow and record vocals with me together for that song. So that's going to be fun. Anyway, I am practicing a song these days. It's not an easy song. I started last Friday. It's a horrible, complicated song, to be honest. I'm going to do a guitar playthrough. It's going to be released early January, and yes, that's how long I probably will need to play it accurately and correct. You'll understand as soon as you see it. And that led me to the idea of doing a Guitar Stuff episode talking about efficient practicing. Because, and again, with my students in my music school, a lot of times I see them practicing like a riff or like a melody or something. And there's different approaches how to do that. And I would like to share my personal approach, how I practice. And that relates to classical pieces, that relates to solos, that relates to riffs, that relates to anything. If you have, let's say, a 4-bar thing to practice, right? So, and let's assume it's easy, it's 4/4. With this song that I just did, which is not 4/4 anyway, of course not. I started, for example, with the main riff. Not the intro, but the main riff. And then after the main riff, there's the verse, which is kind of like the main riff, but not really. Of course not. Of course not. And then there's the chorus. And so I started with the main riff, which is a 2-bar thing that repeats itself. With my guitar students, for example, if I show them something and they are trying to, like, they read the tabs and they try to, like, play it, they would start ba-da-da-da and then stuck. And then they go again, ba-da-da-da and stuck. And they're like, man, I gotta nail this. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. So all that they are doing, and that's something very important, which I wish I would have listened when I was younger, because that could have saved me so much time. Oh, I can do this. Of course not. Take a step back, practice in a speed that is, or in a low tempo, that your brain actually has the chance to tell your fingers what to do. If you go too fast, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, and you stuck every single time. Let's say one time you play one more note, ba-da-da-da-da. Okay, great. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. If you do that, let's say for 10 times, guess what? Your muscle memory in your fingers will remember that, and then your muscle memory is gonna go like,
all right, we practiced 10 times how this has to go.
And then as soon as the muscle memory locks in, it's so much harder to get across that locked in thing. Do I make any sense? Do you know what I mean? Back to my students in my music school. Let's say I'm gonna teach them a solo. Let me grab a guitar. All right, here comes my incredible new second camera. Hello, camera. Let's say, just because I practice it, I'm playing this song tomorrow during this All-Star Jam thing. How about Living on a Prayer, okay? The solo for Living on a Prayer is very easy. And so on. So it's little parts, little different parts. Let's start with the first one. Let's say, for whatever reasons, I teach that to a student and my student plays. the muscle memory of my student is doing right now is practicing ba-da-da-da, 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 moving from ba-da-da-da to ba-da-da-da-da-da is going to be way harder than just like doing it in a low speed, so that your head has the chance to communicate with your fingers and your hands. Meaning, if I play, that way, it's slow, but that way you lock it in. And you don't practice your mistakes. Not mistakes, but the thing is, when you get stuck with anything you practice, I can do it. Let's do it again. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. Do that 10 times. And your brain and your muscle memory is going to remember that because you just practiced 10 times how it's not supposed to be. And to move on from that part is so much harder than just like slowing it down and practicing slowly. And then when you can nail the whole thing, not the whole solo, let's say 1 bar, then moving on and speed it up a little bit. Just that. Okay, and then there comes the second part, which is up on the 12th fret. Oh, great bending, Jen. I can't play bendings. My voice is tired. I am tired. Of course not. Practice the first part, practice the second part, and then you want to practice the connection between those two. Right? So you don't end up... Of course not. I would always recommend practicing pieces. I admit that I'm practicing bar by bar with this song that I'm learning right now, which is so killing my nerves. As soon as I'm gonna release the playthrough, you'll understand my pain. And then you'll remember this guitar stuff episode and go like,
that was in the beginning of December, and she's been practicing already starting in November, and now it's January, and now we get to see what she's been working on.
Here's my advice when it comes to practicing and efficient practicing. Do not try to play the whole thing in one piece. It doesn't work. If I get a classical piece and I play it from the first note until the last note, and I'm like, wow, I made it through the whole thing. Great. Your finger and your ears and your brain don't remember what the beginning was like when you end up playing the whole thing once. So the way you efficiently practice is you take 1 bar, maybe 2 bars, take a phrase, let's say phrase. Oh, run. What do you want? You practice 1 bar, or let's say a phrase, the first phrase. If you nail that part, you move on to the second phrase. And then you need to practice the connection from 1 to 2. So that way you can play 1 and 2 together. You practice the third phrase. Then the third phrase alone, as soon as you can nail that, you're going to practice the connection from 2 to 3. When you nail 2 and 3, you start practicing 1, 2, and 3 together. And so on and so on. This is how you efficiently practice any melody, any solo, any riff, any classical piece, doesn't matter what. Do not play the whole thing from top to bottom. It doesn't do anything. All right, I think I'm done, so I can continue practicing. Mark my words, people. I'm not really having too much time today because I gotta practice Poison, as I am playing Poison tomorrow as well. Yeah, do the Nita. And anyway, everybody take care. Stay safe and sane. Happy and healthy. And please connect to the Discord. And love you people of the internet. Mwah. Bye. Anyway, huh? Of course not.